Well, here we are, Evan, working on the wife's car here again today. This is a 2014 Chevy Cruze LT 1.4 liter turbocharged motor here on this. And yes, the old check engine light is on here again today. And the reason I say again, Evan, for those who maybe didn't see the previous video, we just literally worked on this car here a couple of days ago. Did the spark plugs and the ignition coil. We had some check engine lights coming on for that. And speaking of which, by the way, that seems to have solved the problem. Spark plugs, ignition coil, I'm not sure which one it was. Maybe it was both. Not sure, but that problem seems to have gone away. Now we got some new problems. 3 of them to be specific here. So let me show you what's going on the computer here. Okay, so over on the old computer here, we got 3 codes that are coming up: P0097, P00F5, and P2199 here. So just going through these here: air intake temperature sensor 1-2 correlation. Then we got, what was this one here? Humidity sensor circuit high, and air intake temperature sensor 2 circuit low bank 1. Did a little research, Evan. Apparently all of these sensors are part of the mass airflow, or mass airflow sensor there. So I have a brand new mass airflow sensor, which for those of you who watched my previous video, Evan, we just replaced this here when I did the spark plugs and the ignition coil, because, well, we had a mass airflow sensor error message going on. And speaking of which, that error message has not come back up, and that message seems to be gone. So the new airflow sensor seems to have fixed that message. I don't remember. I think it was like a P10, no, it was a P1101 or something like that, or I forget exactly what that one was, Evan, but it was a different code. Now these 3 seem to be showing up. And like I said, it seems to be part of the mass airflow sensor. So I got another one. We're going to try replacing this here and see if this goes away. And if it does, I'm a relatively simple fix here. Just one mass airflow sensor. Okay, I'm going to change out the mass airflow sensor. Relatively simple. And actually, for those of you who see my last video, we did it in that one. So we're going to pull out the stop, or the lock here for the electrical connector. Pull that out. And then there's 2 screws here, top and bottom. Trying to be careful not to drop those in the engine bay. Slide it out. Yeah, like I said, this is a new one, everyone, but we're going to be putting another new one on. And given the fact that our previous sensor did not do this, Evan, I'm relatively confident that it's a problem with this and not something else. Our old sensor, by the way, if this doesn't work, Evan, I'm going to put the old sensor back on and see what that does. And make sure we reattach our electrical connector. Done. Okay, Kevin, with the sensor replaced here, I'm going to attempt to clear the codes here, and then we'll start the car here and see if it comes back. And if it does, by the way, I'm going to try putting the old sensor back on. Well, the clearing does not seem to have cleared it. Let me try turning it off, turning it back on, and see if it'll clear the codes for us. Okay, I'm just taking a look at this here. I found where it shows the sensors here on the computer. By the way, I was not able to clear the codes here, by the way, and I'm relatively sure this new sensor also is not working right. If you look at this, I believe it is sensor 2 of one. So you got sensor 1 and sensor 3. I don't know where the other 2 sensors, I'm sorry, are of one. I don't know where sensor 1 and 3 are, but sensor 2 is reading a solid -40, like straight -40, like no points, nothing. So these two, 143, 136, you know, they're relatively close to being the same, right? But -40, and it did say sensor 2 here. If we go back to our trouble codes, yeah, sensor 2. So something is wrong with that. Also, then you got the humidity sensor, and then the correlation between sensor 1 and 2. Basically, it's telling you that the data between the sensors is not agreeing. Like, whoa! And you can see that if we go back to our report, you know, 143, -40. Big difference there, right? I'm gonna go put the old sensor back on. Okay, Kevin, we're gonna pull out our new sensor here again. Take the electrical connector off. And this is the old sensor that was on here. We're going to put this one back in. This is one that had the problem with the airflow part of it. We did try cleaning it. But I think it's probably just time for a new one. So we'll see if this one has the issues with the temperature and humidity. Locked. Okay, Kevin, back here again. I was not able to clear the codes here, unfortunately. However, with that old sensor, and if you look now, so again, we're looking at sensor 2 here, everyone. So sensor 1, sensor 2, sensor 3. We got 107, 86. Oh, it just jumped up 87 and 105. Now, the engine is hot, everyone, so that makes sense. The other 2 sensors would be warmer. And then we just put that sensor in, so it came off the shelf there. So it's probably not much over, or wasn't much over like 70, 75 degrees when I put it in there. So the fact that it's climbing makes sense to me, everyone. So I think we got this fixed. It'd be nice if I could actually clear the trouble codes of them, but like I said, unfortunately, it does not let me clear the trouble codes for some reason. I don't know why. This car, yeah, we've had problems with that in the past, so it might be just one of those things. I'm gonna have to run it here, and then hopefully that little annoying check engine light will go out here, and then we'll just have to keep an eye on it too, see if the mass airflow sensor will trigger here again. It wouldn't surprise me if it does. I mean, that's the reason we replaced it here in the first place. Now, at the moment, it doesn't seem to. I'm not getting any codes for actually the mass airflow sensor. I'm just getting the codes here for again, the temperature sensor and the humidity. So with that one, I know I'd like to see the check engine light go out on. I am fairly confident it will based on these values here. So with that, thanks for watching, everyone. If you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And until next time.